Hi, I'm Dave McMaster. I'm in Bahrain right now, and I'm thinking about some of my experiences over the years as an international educator. In fact, I've thought about writing a book, but I'm just not sure if anybody would read it. I've got a whole bunch of chapters ready. One of the reasons I think I've been doing this for so long is the fun moments, and there's a lot of them. Uh, when I was in grade 8 in Canada, it was high school, was grade 8 to 12, and I went out for the basketball team. There's like 50 kids, 50, 60 kids, boys going out for it. In the end of 2 hours of the first practice, the coach comes over and goes, "You're Dave McMaster, right?" And he's got the tick box. He says, "Oh, wow, you really worked hard out there today. Fantastic. Good work ethic. You're sweating. You know what? You might want to go out for the wrestling team." And I didn't realize at the time that this was slightly prophetic because I did go up for the wrestling team. Our team won 2 provincial championships in the next 5 years. His basketball teams didn't even make the playoffs in those 5 years. But I didn't realize that wrestling would come in handy as a good wrestler in my international education career. The first time was 2009 or 10. Some of our Christmas parties got a little carried away in Hong Kong. They were always fantastic. We'd have staff, and then 97% of the staff would come. They'd bring their significant others if they didn't work at the school. And I would joke to some of my colleagues that I was close to, that I would hang out with sometimes. And as a head, you got to be careful of what you do sometimes. And I would joke if something was going on, and I would say, I used to wrestle. If they would start getting that, a little too big for their britches, and I said, I can take you down really quickly, so cut it out. So at a Christmas party, probably 2/3 of the people had left, and I look over, and 6 or 7 of these guys are talking and looking over at me, and I'm thinking, what is going on? And I remember talking to my athletic director, Mike Balo, who ironically works with me again here, and he says, "I think they're coming over here. I think you better run. They're going to do something." And I said, "Mike, I used to wrestle." So the 6 come over, and without saying anything, they grab me and they say, "Can you wrestle all 6 of us?" So for the next 20 to 25 minutes, I wrestled 6 different people who had had a few glasses of wine or beers, and I won. Chris, my friend Chris, he ended up with a bit of a scratch on his eye. I don't think I did that. Another guy had a Charlie horse on his thigh, and so for the next 7 or 8 years, before I would say anything, they would say, "I get it. You used to wrestle." So fast forward, one other wrestling story. I love recruiting. It's my favorite part of international education, and I love recruiting. And I miss the days of the recruiting fairs, getting 20 to 30 interviews over a 2 to 3 day period. And John, one of my colleagues, and I were doing interviews and back and forth and back and forth. And we needed a lot of teachers that particular year. And at one of the Search Associates fairs in Bangkok, we ended up hiring 8 from one fair. And one couple who came in for an interview, we loved them. They came in for a second interview. On the last day, we were like triple booked. We had people waiting outside. And I have a tendency in some of these, or they're usually, we try to keep them slightly informal compared to most interviews. And this particular couple, I won't say their names, he was a high level NCAA wrestler and in his former years. And at the end, we offered them a job on the spot, which was very rare, but we needed a lot. And we were very happy about it. They were thrilled. They had lots of offers. They said one was English, one was a grade 8 math and science. And at the end, we offered. We showed them the terms. They said, "This is fantastic." And then we were a little bit giddy. My friend and I, he was the principal, I was head of school, and I looked over at the guy. Let's call him Terrence. That wasn't his name. And I said, "Terrence, you wrestled at Iowa for 4 years, one of the best wrestling programs in the States. What weight class were you?" He says, "I think I finished at 157 pounds." I said, "That is ironic because I wrestled too." And John's looking at me going, "You've got to be kidding. Where is this going?" I said, "Terrence, do you still keep in shape? You look like you're fit." And he goes, "Yeah." And he's 20 years younger than me. I said, "You know, this is a big room. What do you think we have a little wrestle now?" And he's looking at me like, okay, this guy just offered me a job. John's shaking his head, thinking he knows where this is going. His wife's just, her eyes are bug-eyed. And I said, let's go right here. I stand up, I take off my jacket, I remove my tie. He comes out in front of me like this. And I said, Terrence, I'm joking. We're not wrestling. He goes, oh my God, I wasn't sure if I should go for a double leg or a single leg. I just didn't know what to do. I said, no, you don't have to wrestle me because I would be down on my back in about 10 seconds. And so he said, oh, thank God. He goes, this isn't a condition, is it, of hiring? I said, no, no, no. You guys are hired. And so one of my favorite interview stories of all times. It was a lot of fun. We never did wrestle, by the way.